So, welcome back, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed the chat with Ahana last week. And I'm back with her on episode 2 because we have so much to talk. We had so much to share, and she had so many interesting insights. I was like, we have to do 2 episodes. I can't just wrap it up so quickly. So, we chatted about her debut, Yudh, and the actual debut that people don't know. Go back to that and find out, and then lipstick under my burqa. And today I do want to catch up with her about lockdown. How has the experience been in lockdown? And we'll talk about her web series also and a few interesting questions. So, Ahana, everyone, it's been almost 3.5 months now, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has experienced a lot of things that they have never ever in their lives, and they will probably never do. Nobody predicted this, so it was all mixed up emotions. So, so what do you think in the go-go life of we all had, and especially with you and being in Mumbai and always, doing things. So what do you think your learning has been? How has it changed you when you go back to AC after COVID? I call it BC, DC, AC, okay? BC is before COVID, DC is during COVID, AC is after COVID.
That's actually a good one, Seema. Now that
Uh-huh.
I think of it. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
nice.
And we are used to of the terms BC and AC anyway from the history. And
Yeah.
this is, of course, history too. So, yeah. So let's just touch base on that a little bit about you and the lockdown.
Actually, as I said earlier, there are good days, there are bad days, and you can't predict what you're going to feel tomorrow. And I think the only way that been able to get past the lockdown when it was actually announced, I think I got very anxious the first few days, and I didn't know what to do with my life. And I was just, I was at my sister's house. She stays about 40 minutes away from where I live with my parents. And I have a 3-year-old nephew, and he's quite a handful. So I was at my sister's house, and then suddenly, um, uh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the lockdown, and I was like, "What? Now I'm stuck. I can't go back because I didn't have my car that day." And I was at my sister's house for about 2 months, and it was all right for me for the first 2 days. The third day I kind of got anxious, and I was just like, I could not sleep the night because I was just like, what do you mean by saying not go out at all? Like not step out at all. Like I'll get COVID the minute I step down. Like what's going to happen? So I think there were lots of questions that were running, I think, in everybody's minds, and it was getting a little scary. But I remember, like, after Lipstick had released, Lanki had introduced me to Buddhism, and she was like, "Do you?" She took me to a couple of meetings, like Buddhist meetings, and I saw people chanting, and I learned how to chant. And I don't know. I just started practicing chanting myself, and I started doing that during the second week of the lockdown. And that day to this day, it's been 3.5 months, and I don't miss a day of chanting. I chant every day, and
Awesome.
yeah, and I think it's become a practice now. So I, even if it's like, if it means like a few minutes of chanting, I do that. uh, uh, but I think it's actually not been a bad lockdown for me because I have family in Bombay, and it's really difficult if you don't have family support, and you really need your close ones around you, because there will be days you'll be feeling like, my god, what do I do with my life? And this is not what I, especially I think all of us, we were so hectic for the last few years. I think everybody, I have not taken a single day off last year because I'd got dengue and I got admitted in the hospital for a week, and that's the only time that I took off. That was the only week I got off uh, almost last year, and I didn't take any time off. And it really felt weird that, how can I just completely stop traveling? How do I stop doing? Because I'm always picking up something or the other to do. Either I'm doing a play, or I'm doing a reading, or I'm doing a sports show, or I'm doing something or the other. So I was just feeling very weird about it. But I engaged myself in a meditation. I work out with my sister. My sister's a fitness freak. She used to make sure that, that I sleep early and I wake up early. Um, and I think, like, when you have, like, we had like a little ball of energy at home, like my 3-year-old nephew. I literally used to, like, I used to get lost with him in his magical world of dinosaurs and he used to just make up characters and we used to just talk like sometimes in like some different language. And I used to just be like, my God, I've never done this. And I've done this after such a long time. And I think it's nice to have kids and children around you because they really take away so much stress from your life. So, we used to sit and watch like Peppa Pig together, or we would like, dance together. I would work out with my sister. We would cook together. So there were lots of things that I was doing that I have not done at all, in the longest time. And I think it was nice to do that. And I felt different. And I think these are experiences I'm going to keep with me.
And I'm sure this will change you forever, and the meditation is not going away even in the busy times.
I don't think so.
Yeah. My favorite line for meditation practice is that you don't put time in it, you gain time, because
Yes.
you get extra energy and extra mental strength, and the toxins are released. Something magical happens, and 24 hours become few more hours in a day. So meditation is, nobody should ever think that they are putting this time. This is a huge investment, and I'm so glad you did that. That's very blessing that you had for Buddhism. So great. So looks like you made the best of the lockdown, and of course it will be like this. So tell me real quickly, I think everyone wants to know, have they started filming a little bit in Mumbai with a lot of guidelines or not much?
There has been a guideline issued to everybody by the guild, but I feel like it's really scary right now because honestly, Bombay is not the safest city at the moment. There are lots of patients roaming around freely. People don't sometimes even know that they are symptomatic or asymptomatic, and I think it's difficult to rely entirely upon somebody because I don't think any production house is also going to take responsibility for you or your health, and rightly so, nobody will. You're responsible solely for yourself because everybody right now is really like figuring out what this really is, So I don't think it's a good idea to start, but I feel that those who really need to start working will work no matter what, because they have to run their kitchens. It's been 3.5 months, and without any income coming into their households, it's very difficult to stay in a city like Bombay. You can't sustain. So I know so many actors who've gone back home because they are just like, yahan par kuch karne ke liye nahi hai. And I feel like the city cannot be, it's really not your city. Lots of people, and the new word, the new term that has come into being, which is like immigrant workers. We are all immigrant workers. We've all come into the city and made it our own. But it really isn't, your city. If you don't have anything to do out here, if you don't have work, or if you don't have family. So it's definitely difficult right now. But having said that, yes, a few shoots have begun. I have no idea how those shoots are being taken, like, how they are taking place, because I'm sure people are wearing the entire PPE suits, and actors are at the highest amount of risk because we can neither wear masks nor gloves nor PPE suits. So I don't know how actors are shooting and how they are like letting go of that fear, because it is scary at the moment.
All right. So hopefully, they can find a way to film safely and the cases go down and the vaccination comes and we go back quickly to the world. You must be missing acting though, do you?
I am missing being on set so much, so much. It's so weird to not be acting for such a long time. Thankfully, I'm doing a play now, so there are rehearsals in the evenings, and we all get on a Zoom call, and everybody's kind of rehearsing, and everybody's discussing, the characters or discussing the script. And I think it's nice to do that because I think we're still doing the work that we do, and it may not be, and because I do stage, so I'm happy to be part of going back into it again because it's very comfortable for me. It's like going back home. So I feel like for me, this time is not really lost. I feel happy that I can finally go back into doing a theater production.
Cool. Thanks. So, Ahana, tell me something. I really like to understand your. I've seen a lot of your work, and every show, every episode, you completely take a different avatar. you if you don't know you're like, especially like in Betal, people won't even recognize you. And and your style is different. It's very versatile. You're a very versatile actor. So tell me, how do you prepare for something completely different what you last did? Do you kind of get into the role, you study about them? What's your method?
For me, I think workshop is key, and it's very integral to my working. And I have always insisted on doing readings and workshops before I start shooting. And I think it kind of also gives you, like a tone. It sets a tone to your character. It sets a tone to you, and I think it kind of takes away. Also, because I think because the last few years have literally been like one. Acha ye khatam hua, let's start this. Acha ye khatam hua, let's start this. So it's literally been like back to back projects, and every project of mine has actually been very different. And uh, I have not really. You know it's not like I put a finger to it and been like, हाँ अब मुझे ये करना है, then it's come to me. I think it just comes to me, and then in hindsight I think about it and I go like, yeah, it was something different that I did, and it's usually always been very different roles, different makeups, different looks, and I feel very proud and I feel very happy that I get these kind of things, because I feel that in the long run I'll remember myself as somebody who tried to do different roles, as opposed to just looking plain pretty, or just like a heroine per se. But I think and that's exciting, because in Marzi I played there's a show called Marzi that I've just done. In that I played a clinically depressed person, and somebody who gets really like has an emotional outburst at everything, and she's like this person who's been through rape. So I had like a very long workshop. I had trauma workshops for that, because I insisted in fact on those, because I said that I don't know how that character must feel, and I don't know about this person at all, and I need workshops. And I was very happy that the channel kind of agreed to give me workshops for that. Then when I did Betal, I played an officer. We had, physical training. We had arms and ammunition workshop, because we didn't know how to carry an M4, and I'm carrying a huge rifle in the entire show. Plus I have a burn mark. So then I used to be in prosthetics for about 2 hours every day.
Seriously?
Yeah, I had a burn mark on
So
on the
two
right
hours. So
side. Yeah.
your whole makeup time was how much?
So it used to be an hour and a half, but 2 hours with like me entirely getting ready. So yeah, almost 2 hours of so my call time was always 2 hours. Like everybody's contract was I think for 13 hours, but mine was around 15 hours. So
You
it was
worked
like every day.
15 hours non-stop?
Yeah. So I
Pretty
did that
much.
for 45, 50 days.
You know, people think actors, everything is all glam and they celebrity, red carpet and
Anything
all this.
glamorous. Nothing about my job is glamorous. I must really break that myth, and they should be on set with like one of us and then know like, what we really go through. Um, I mean, of course, if you're doing a show like, which requires vanity, like for example, like my friends have done formal shots, and there's a lot of vanity in that show, and there's not like, it's not one of those shows which requires like, too much of like, it aesthetically needs to look very pretty. So those girls look pretty, but then that's the time that you require, like, in your vanity. But at the same time, if you're doing a show like Betal, where like, you're playing somebody like an Aluwali, which is my character, where somebody's got like a burn mark, so you need to spend that much time in prosthetics. So I think it only depends upon what character you're playing and how much time that, that character might need to get ready. But that's like, as I said, that workshops are key to me, and I always need to get the tone of the character, and then I go full throttle into it. And once I'm like on set, then I'm just the character. So I don't really snap out so easily. So I think that's just a method that I've been working with for a very long time.
Okay. That works. That it shows on the screen. It shows very well on the screen. I'll say.
In fact, my next film is the next release that's going to be happening. I think, which is going to be. I think my next film is releasing in August. I think on Hotstar. It's a film called Khuda Hafiz, and that film is with Vidyut Jamwal, and it's an action film for which we shot in Uzbekistan. And in that film, I'm speaking Arabic. I'm wearing a hijab. I've done action. And these are things I've never done. So what? I had to go through Arabic training. I had to go through, it was insane. It was quite crazy. And, again, I'm playing an Arabic officer in it. So I had to do a lot of hand-to-hand combat action. So there was a lot of training I did. So it was interesting. I think it just kind of like it's a different dimension altogether again. So yeah, it's not like I planned to do it. It just happened to be that I was cast for that part and I got the role. And there we are.
That's a good way, I guess, the workshops, and it's a lot of work, a lot of time goes in it. And tell me a little bit about the new series Betal. People have, so much time, and everyone is watching so much on Netflix, Amazon, and all the platforms. So, what is it like? What should they expect from it? What's the story a little bit? It seems very, very different. It's very cool, though, something that hasn't come out from the Indian background. I mean, they're making a lot of new stuff, but this is something else. This is another level.
Betal is a show which is being directed by Patrick Graham and Nikhil Mahajan. Patrick has previously made Ghoul for Netflix. Patrick is British, he's not Indian. And he's written the show with also coincidentally with Suhani Kanwar, who's also written Lipstick with Alankrita. And so this is my second work with Suhani. And Betal is a show about three worlds colliding into each other, which is basically the world of Betal, which is like a fantastical mythical character from the Indian books, and then there is it's colliding with British colonialism, because that's what you get to see. The pretas, the booths that you get to see in the show are basically these British colonial officers, soldiers, and they are fighting against the Indian soldiers, which is being played by all of us. The main lead in the show is Vineet Singh, who's also done Mukkabaz, and he's done Bar of Blood previously. And I play I play an officer under his command, and we are basically best friends in the show. And it talks about, so the show is basically about the unleashing of a mountain, a tunnel which is not supposed to be opened, and it's in a Naxal area is what it's been termed. It's in an Naxal area, and so now the fight is between the bhoots and the actual soldiers, and I think it's been a visually very challenging show that has been made in India, because we shot it in Lonavala and Igatpuri, and the locations were fantastic where we were shooting, because we sometimes used to be in those locations and be like, where the hell did you guys get this from? It's one of those things. And at that point of time, like when we were shooting, we didn't realize like how much work we really put into the show. But it was, I mean, for me, by far, it has been the most physically challenging show that I've done in my life, because we were shooting sometimes in 45 degrees with a full army costume, with guns, with a helmet, crawling, jumping, running, hitting, the people that we were supposed to hitting, in the sense like, we had like action sequences. So, and those kind of things. And then suddenly we were sometimes shooting in Lonavala when it was pouring, and it was in Lonavala, if you've ever been to the Lions Mountain, or like the Lions Point, Lions Point, where that's where our set was. There's so much mist during monsoons that you can't see somebody even standing like this close. And we were shooting between scorpions and snakes and everything around us, and times when like our tents would fly away, and and then I have this prosthetic patch and I have to be really careful that it doesn't get wet. And it was mental. It was really crazy. So I think I've never shot in these conditions for anything like this. And I honestly tell you, like, everybody on set was such a sport. Like, at no point of time did I ever feel that, anybody was any less different or any less senior or junior, because I think like everybody on set really just wanted to get the shot right and make sure that, we were always standing on standby. We were like, what, we have to shoot. We have to finish this shot. We have to finish this scene. We have to finish the scene today. We can't leave it for another day. We cannot have a spillover. So we were on a very tight schedule. And I'm just only too glad that it premiered on Netflix, and it ran for a very long time. Like, it was #1 for about 10 days. So I think we brought a lot of numbers to Netflix. Yeah. And this was the first time when Blumhouse and Netflix and Red Chillies was coming together as a brand, and yeah, I think I'm very proud of the show, and I think it's a very, very brave show to come out of India.
I
We
can
really haven't seen this from Indian diaspora.
Yeah, I can imagine the way you're describing the filming behind
Yeah,
it.
it was
Oh my
crazy.
goodness, what all you went through to film as well. We need to watch it. We need to make it, we need to justify this work. We
Yeah,
absolutely will.
today.